super freaked out by seagulls since I learned they can live into their 30s. Looking at every seagull like, I wonder if they remember the 90s. I asked an ornithologist about this today, and he said that they can't remember the 90s. They're dumb, he said. I mean, yeah, that's like legitimately the correct answer. They're not like ravens and crows and stuff like that. Actually, how old can crows live to be? Let's see. So they can be 7 to 8. Australian ravens can be 22. Common ravens can be 10 to 15, but it looks like the American crow 7 to 8. And those guys apparently have amazing memory and mathematical skills and shit. I feel like crows are probably in the top 10 smartest creatures. Probably right above us humans, if I'm being honest. You telling me Julius Caesar, who has been dead for well over 70 years, made this salad? Technically, you aren't wrong with that number, but I just hate it. Turns out the only thing you've learned in this class is that Caesar was the salad dressing dude. Commenting AI slop on a high school acquaintance's Instagram post of their newborn baby. You see, it's a funny idea. It's a funny idea, but eventually people will start unironically doing shit like that. And then if you start to call out AI anything, people will start to think you're a dick by calling out AI something. That's how it starts. It always starts off as an innocent little joke that a bunch of people co-opt so they can make people that are against AI look stupider and dumber and more annoying and blah, 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 blah. Like the type of guy that says encyclopedia instead of encyclopedia, okay? They're trying to Ted Mosby everybody that doesn't like AI. I know that's not what Trap Possum is doing here, of course. It's just a funny, silly joke. But I don't joke when it comes to something like this. Oh no, I'm a very serious man. As you guys know good and well, I could not be more serious at any given moment in time. There are children being born whose parents were not alive when Shrek came out. Crazy how the years start coming and they simply do not stop coming. It's like the song in Shrek, right? That is wild though, and I hate you for bringing that up. That is so messed up. Screw you, dude. Oh my God. You know the PlayStation 3 turns 20 next year? Grading this person's paper, how the hell? Wait, damn, I don't know what year it is. Let's see, what is the dependent, whatever. Was this for extra credit? Did you like give somebody an out for extra credit? Like, hey, look, if you draw a really cool picture of something, here at the end, I'll give you bonus points and maybe it'll like save your ass. I hope this person did really, really good. As someone who didn't grow up celebrating holidays, I feel like a sociologist whenever holiday season rolls around. So many traditions, so much anxiety, so many rules that simply cannot be broken or the holiday is invalidated. And that's all just normal for most people. I don't know what it is. I think it's because a lot of us, when we find something that we really love, like a time of year or a holiday or a movie or whatever, we don't like it when it's changed. And that's not just for someone on the spectrum. People at large don't like it when something they've been able to get used to changes. Even if it is for the better, suddenly that thing is different. Not necessarily invalidated for everybody, but like, for instance, I'm a Halloween guy and I've got some rules about Halloween, man. That doesn't mean they can't ever be changed. Like, I, for the last 4, almost 5 years now, have been passing out full-size candy to the neighborhood kids, even though we get very few trick-or-treaters where we are. I will decorate. I'll go crazy. I have to be that person on Halloween. Now, some things in the future will change that, where I won't be home, I won't be able to do that. But you better believe the holiday is not invalidated for me. Just like one of the other things that we do is the week leading up to Halloween, we'll start considering jack-o'-lanterns, right? But I'm not going to put a jack-o'-lantern out on the stoop October 1st because by the time Halloween rolls around, it's a lump of goo that squirrels are eating, right? So that's my thing. Like, we've all got our little things, you know? I've set up the same decorations for the past 4 years, and I'd like to change it, but I don't know. We got a cool thing going on, right? But nothing will ever invalidate my holiday. She hadn't made a milkshake in years for fear that they would return. She starts the blender reluctantly. In the distance, screams. The boys had returned. They were coming to her yard. I feel like if the Avengers were real, we'd really, really hate them. Watching Hulk throw your car at the villain and miss. You see, there's been a bunch of media throughout the years trying to explore the hero aftermath, right? I mean, I think The Incredibles did it in probably the most interesting way that I had seen growing up. Now, I know there's probably a lot more out there. Obviously, you've got like The Boys. I don't know if really much about that. I don't care about it. It's not my show for sure. I liked The Boys, right? Sort of exploring how these heroes, especially the popular ones, live, you know? I like that idea. It is interesting, but I do think The Incredibles did it the best, you know, where Mr. Incredible saves a guy who was trying to kill himself, crazy for a children's movie, and then sues all superheroes out of existence or causes the cascade that is suing superheroes out of existence, right? It is kind of crazy. It's really cool, but very true, right? Didn't Avengers try to look at that a little bit in Civil War or something like that? We got to rein ourselves in. No, we don't. I hate you. Let's kiss. That sort of thing, right? I'm pretty sure I was never the biggest Marvel guy. I apologize, but it is interesting. I love this experiment. H/T/R. Oh, I see. The present moment. We conducted a quasi-experimental field study on the Milan Metro, observing 138 rides. In the control condition, a female experimenter appearing pregnant boarded the train with an observer. In the experimental condition, an additional experimenter dressed as Batman entered from another door. Passengers were significantly more likely to offer their seat when Batman was present. Holy shit, and you know why. It's because the Caped Crusader himself would be like, hey, you let this young lady sit down right now. When the manifestation or a manifestation of justice, and not that he's completely, morally or ethically correct, because he's not, right? None of them are. That's what makes them compelling. But when you see someone like Batman hanging around, you're more likely, I guess, to be reminded to, oh, I should be good. I should be good. Not like you're breaking any rules by not letting a pregnant woman sit down on the train, but it's a super interesting idea. I can't stand this guy. I take it back. I don't get it. Haven't seen the show or movie. I don't know. I just don't. Was this the guy that no, different dude. Sorry, different. I'm thinking of a different guy entirely. Yep, I got nothing for you. Apologies. All right, let's see. Reason. I am having another problem. Notes. Bought it to play with my boyfriend. He then cheated on me. I won't play it anymore, and I kind of need the money to eat. Is this a valid reason to ask for a refund? I think it's a valid reason to ask. I think so. By the way, do the developers of the games get to see these refund requests and then deny or whatever based on Steam's own policy? Or is it just Valve controls all of it and will kind of fuck over a game dev or not? I don't know how it works. I think it's a valid reason to ask because I totally get it, right? However, how long have you had the game? How long did you play? Those things are important, and I do think Valve has a pretty good structure for it at this point in time. I really do. Like, if you had this game and played it for 125 hours and you've had it for years, I think they should say no. I do, right? I am assuming, though, you've only had it for a couple of days or a week or something, and you guys barely played it or didn't even get the chance to play it beforehand. So I would say, yeah, why not? If you're within those confines, sure, I don't see it being a bad reason. Imagine being named Johnson and meeting another guy who liked putting powder on babies as much as you do, and then finding out his name is Johnson also. I totally get it, but can you imagine? There is at least one person out there that thinks that Johnson & Johnson, was founded because the two guys loved the idea of baby powder and thought they could make a monopoly out of it, which I'm pretty sure Johnson & Johnson is one of the 12 companies that owns half the planet or something crazy stupid like that, along with Unilever and Procter & Gamble and blah, 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 blah. But I'm serious. There's at least one guy out there that would read this and go, that's actually crazy. I didn't think about that. No way. Why did they like putting powder on babies so much? We should get to the bottom of that. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Helping my mom design a logo for her work, and we're choosing fonts. Just scrolling through Photoshop and stopping when she sees one she likes. She's been pretty unenthusiastic, but then she says, stop. I like that one. My friends, it was Comic Sans. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up really quick because I like having the visual in front of me. It's actually, okay, by the way, really cute thing. If you look up Comic Sans, the entire Google page will be in Comic Sans, right? So, why do we see it everywhere? It's free. I believe it's open license, like anyone can use it for anything they want forever. And it's an incredibly easy to read font. Super easy to read. A non-connecting script. As it says right here, the typeface draws inspiration from comic book lettering to emulate the informal and cartoonish tone of speech bubbles. It's cute. It's free. Go for it. I think you'd have to work really, really, really hard on a logo to get Comic Sans to not be distracting. But 9 times out of 10, it could destroy your logo, genuinely. Because a logo has to be many things, for sure. But if it's distracting and causes someone to go, haha, Comic Sans, that's wrong. But it is a good font. We gotta stop pretending it's some horribly awful font. It's not. It's easy to read. It's accessible. I love Comic Sans, okay? Not my favorite, but I like it. What I don't like? Papyrus. Parents are so crazy because they can say the most up shit to you when your brain is forming, and it sets the tone for your whole adult mindset, and then they forget about it the next day. They did not forget about it. Okay, I can't blanket say that. A lot of parents do, and I gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, if I approached my mom with some stuff she said to me when I was really little, or a lot younger, I would genuinely believe if she didn't know it. The difference is, in a good parent, what they will do is go, oh my God, I said that, didn't I? I don't remember saying that, but I would like to apologize and take responsibility for how that affected you. Did they take responsibility for what you know they said? Or do they go, oh, come on, I didn't say that. Oh, you just want to make me the bad guy, blah, blah, blah. How do they react if you want to bring that up and get closure on that trauma from your life? That's the real defining factor, man. Happy 35th birthday to the talented Kathleen Hurleys. Is that correct? The original voice of Dora Marquez. Why didn't I remember Dora the Explorer's last name? Did they ever say it in the show? And the voice of Dora's mom on the Dora reboot. Dora has a last name? Thank you. Thank you. I watched a lot of Dora the Explorer growing up. I had no idea, man. I mean, of course she had a last name. It's like the family from Malcolm in the Middle. They just got a confirmation, like a canon last name, like just now, because they're about to have that reboot season or whatever the hell's going on. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, just because I know you're going to be curious. Because whenever I watched that show all the way through, of course I'm like, dude, what is their last name? Is it ever said? Apparently it's confirmed that it's Wilkerson. They confirmed it in like an Instagram post, the Wilkersons. And it's funny, I'm looking at a Reddit post on r/Malcolm in the Middle, and people keep saying, why do people think the family's last name is Wilkerson 7 years ago? Pretty sure it's confirmed now. I think we can put that to rest. But no, had no idea Dora had a last name, or I knew she had one, I just didn't know what it was. Drawing is so exhausting. I wish I could just... No, well, see, that's AI generation, dude, and that's no good. I totally understand the frustration with creating anything. I will always get it. Like, the act of creating can either be very fun for you, or it's the worst thing in the world. For some people, that's what burnout is. When they enjoy the act of creation, and then many years later, they're like, dude, I hate it. Like, when I was making Gmod videos on the Zycron channel for years, I made a daily video for years straight, right? Almost daily, I'd say. I think I usually took a day or two off. Anyway, that used to be so fun for me. Waking up, getting the friends together, recording this thing, and then editing it together. I never minded the recording it part, but I came to despise editing so much so that making videos of my own it's never gonna be a thing that I can do consistently, right? I just can't. And that's what happens sometimes, and it sucks. Hopefully, y'all get that spark back, but, you know, for now, just take things as you can. Just take them as they come and chill. I'm watching To Catch a Predator, and this dude brought an entire large pizza for the hypothetical child, and he's just housing, like, the entire thing. Chris Hansen hitting him with some serious accusations, and he's on, like, slice 5. Probably stress eating because he knows he in big trouble. He's in really big trouble. I don't know what actually happens to these dudes after the show, because they, like, get arrested at the end of the episode, but I don't know what actually happens, if the whole process is legal enough, you know, and these guys actually see punishment for this. I don't know. I've heard that they don't really get punishment a lot of the time, or they do and it's very light or whatever. I have no idea. But this just reminds me of that one sketch I saw on Instagram of Chris Hansen wanting a slice of that pizza. I found a scarf. I felt like it. Of course, my evil twin is French. Ah, what? What are we, huh? So wait, are there two moth women on Twitter that are beefing? My dad said the word Frogger, and I cut him off to go, I hardly know her. And he sighed big and went, just stop it. What would it mean to frog a woman? That is an excellent question from Dad, and I hope you had an answer for him, Meredith. What would it mean to frog a woman? You need to keep doing this. I think your dad is going to love you more every single day if you're causing him to be frustrated by shitty dad-level jokes. Come on, keep hitting him with these philosophical conundrums, you know? Tonight, the flight attendant was saying his usual speech about putting larger bags in the overhead compartment, and then said, I know you want to show your Gucci and Louis bags, but we all know if they were actually real, you wouldn't be flying Spirit. Oh, suck it! And even if they were real, are you really ever going to use them? Because a few videos ago, we talked about the lobster bag that was indeed a real, I think, Louis Vuitton bag, I'm not sure, for like $7,000 to $8,000. I have spent a lot of money on some stuff. Like, my cameras are pretty pricey, you know? I have a couple Fuji cameras. I think I have a couple Sony cameras. I think the most expensive camera I've ever bought was like $35 with a lens when I left the store, $100. And I never wanted to use that thing. I just felt like taking it outside, the sun would melt it it and it would break apart in my hands upon first usage. Takes me forever to like want to use my expensive or nicer stuff. So I can't even imagine. If I bought like a Leica, I think I would just put it in a glass case for a year and a half and never even touch the damn thing. Okay, I wouldn't, but there'd be a part of me that wants to. 1995. Drive to Blockbuster and pray the last copy is still on the shelf. 2025. That movie you want to watch isn't on any of your 17 streaming services you pay for, but you can rent it for $9.99. Actually, you can rent it for $14.99 in HD. If you want to rent it in 4K, it's $20. And once you start watching it, you have 48 hours to finish it. But you can just let it sit in your library for 30 days, so you have plenty of time to watch it. It's awful. Where the f*** are we right now? The streaming revolution is amazing. Genuinely. So why does it suck so bad, man? And why haven't companies learned that when they have a giant, massive, humongous show that's coming out in its final season, that maybe they should increase bandwidth even more than just 30%? I know 30% is freaking huge, but clearly that wasn't enough for Stranger Things, Netflix. My wife called to tell me she saw a fox on the way to work. I asked her how she knew it was on its way to work. She hung up on me. I'm sorry, dad jokes, but hey, you deserve that. You do. I can only be so sorry for you guys, all right? If you stand... Oh, I see. Unfollow me now, like immediately. Judas. If you stand Jesus Christ, well, the Christ is looks a little long there. I don't know. Who the hell were they actually talking about in this, by the way? I'm insanely curious, as I often am, and I don't think we're going to be getting an answer today. That's okay, though. That's all right, isn't it? When I see initials carved into a tree with a heart, I think it's so romantic. Two lovers on a date. One of them carrying a knife for some reason. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a knife. You could carve stuff like that with all sorts of stuff. He could have a crowbar on him. I'm assuming him. I doubt she was carrying the carving device. Could have like proper carving tools, you know, because maybe they make woodblock prints and they're like, cool, I got my chisel with me. Could be just a regular chisel. I don't know, the back end of a hammer. There's all sorts of things that they could have used. Doesn't mean it's a knife. I mean, come on. What are the odds someone's got a knife ready for their, probably not first date. I would imagine you don't do the name carving in a tree thing on your very first, and if you do, you guys might both need to agree on this not being a thing, because you're going too far. We'll be having sex with robots in the next 10 years. 2025 is almost over. Did anyone actually manage to have sex with a robot, or... I think they did. It's just not what this stupid image was selling us. It was never going to be that. You're not going to be having pillow talk with your big robot man after the fact. It's going to be like that robot in Fallout New Vegas that tells you to assume the position. They're going to be doing stuff to you. You're not going to be doing stuff to them, okay? They're also probably not even going to really look human. They're going to look like robo-brains and shit like that. Macaulay Culkin says he has an idea for a Home Alone legacy sequel. I'm either a widower or divorcee. I'm raising a kid. I'm not really paying enough attention, and the kid is getting kind of miffed at me, and then I get locked out. My son won't let me in, and he's the one setting traps for me. The house is some sort of metaphor for our relationship. See, that's a fun idea. I think I actually talked with Zach about this. And well, both he and I are pretty like, about like legacy sequels and whatnot, because the best one that's ever been done is probably Tron Legacy, the one that started the legacy sequel trend. Yes, that is where they started. I don't know. This seems like a fun idea. Macaulay Culkin has earned it. He's doing great. I would probably enjoy this. There are a few legacy sequels that have come out and they've been surprisingly okay. Like genuinely. A Christmas Story Christmas, the sequel to A Christmas Story. Wild, I know. It's really good. I loved it. That's a surprising one. I didn't expect it to be any good at all, but it was great, you know? I do not mind them. I do not. But some can be less than stellar. I mean, look, Tron Ares is, at this point, a f***ing legacy sequel to Tron Legacy because it's been so long. And it sucked ass. I'm sorry. Like, I've come to terms with it. I will own it. I will watch it again, but it's not good. America has a problem, and it's coffee creamers, because what the hell is this? Hey, man. Hey, look. Doth the gardener's eyes not dilate when he sees someone else's garden? Do you not understand the beauty of which you're beholding? What I said didn't make any sense. Me driving in the rain, checking out other drivers' windshield wiper speed to make sure I'm not being dramatic. Not me. Instead, though, I'm the type of guy that when I'm stopped at a light, I will turn my wipers off or down low to make sure they last longer. You know what I mean? Does anybody else do that? Are you guys stupid too? A good romance starts with a good friendship, and a bad romance starts with rah, 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 ah, ah. I'm not gonna do the whole song. You know, maybe I'll do a cover of it later, but not for now. And no, she's definitely correct. You just gotta be careful though. You really do gotta be careful because you don't want to lose the friend in the end. Either you guys keep going, or you could be like in my case, where I still have both of them as friends, but it hurts. My mom died 4 years ago after a 3-year battle with leukemia. During those years, she moved in with us, making us so much Vietnamese comfort food. After we got back from the hospital saying our forever goodbye, we found a pot of pho in the fridge. Even in death, she fed us once more. She was planned, she was ready, and I hope she's somewhere amazing. Letting everyone know that my days are like 40 minutes shorter than usual right now because I live in the morning shadow of a mountain like 100 miles away from me. You know what's funny? So in the Colorado Springs area, we live at the foot of Pikes Peak, a 14,500 foot mountain or something like that. Huge, beautiful, never get tired of the view, right? Love it. However, the sun kind of sets here at like 4:25, 4:30 p.m. in the winter, and I'm dead inside. We hosted a company wellness walk today. Nothing strenuous, just a 15-minute stroll around the building to reconnect with our bodies. Everyone joined except one engineer who stayed at his desk. Afterwards, I gently asked if everything was all right. He said yes, he just didn't feel like walking in a circle for no reason. I told him wellness isn't about the walk, it's about willingness. He said he was willing to work, not walk. I told him that if he felt that way, he should just walk out the door and never come back. He did. If anyone knows a good back-end engineer, we have an open position that we're looking to fill. Can you imagine if this were real? It wouldn't surprise me, but can you imagine for a moment getting pissy because one of your employees was like, I'm here to work, not walk in a f***ing circle. I don't care if I get paid for it or not. Which wouldn't surprise me if this were real, that it would be a 15-minute clock out, no one gets paid thing. Me and the boys leaving Tractor Supply. Hey, they're finally selling spears. We are regressing. Get used to swords and shields again, my friends. YouTube in 2025. YouTube ad. This video is sponsored by for 2 minutes. Another YouTube ad. 4 minutes of content. Another YouTube ad. For more of this, sign up on our website. Don't forget us on Patreon. 3 more minutes of content. YouTube ad. We want to thank our sponsor. I get it. I do. I mean, look where I am. Look where I am right now. Like, I understand. And I've told you guys before, I use YouTube Premium, blah, 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 blah. They've even got built-in sponsor skipping segments now in YouTube if you have Premium, which is interesting, you know? It's all pretty shitty if you are a free user. It is, and they want it to be that way, so you give them money. I get it. However, I will never, as long as they're a video creator, a documentarian, an artist of any kind that I really like watching, I don't care if they get that bag. Now, there are certain exceptions to that. Like one of my favorite reviewers on the platform recently, I think just took like a shitty gambling app ad, and I'm hoping that the bag was big, like $10,000+ big. I really doubt it was, but I hope so. There are certain things, right? But I'm never gonna shit on a f***ing creator for advertising Patreon. Patreon and direct to creator support like that, which Patreon takes very, very little of, even after they increased their cut by like, what, 1%, 2% or something? Insane. I disagree with the bitching about Patreon. Take that out of there, and this is totally valid, but please don't do that. Patreon is, not a great company, none of them are, but they've been the best and probably have given $1 billion+ to creators to allow them to do what they need to do. Like Defunctland, Pimations. Like, dude, please go and support people directly like that if you can or you wanna. Starting my 48-hour turkey brine. Oh God, Zach showed me this one, and I wanted to crawl inside my own nose and die. The future of traveling with Ryanair, and if by any chance your foot size is more than 10 or 11, an extra 15% of the ticket price will be charged to you. Cool visual, yay. We would never give out headphones. I am glad Ryanair seems to be in on some of these jokes, but do not give them motherfucking ideas of any kind. They did, I think it was them, they did theorize about a chair that would let you technically sit down, but you were in a pretty upright position. So don't give them ideas about, I know the CEO of Ryanair said that if he could do standing room only and charge you $1 or £1 to go somewhere, he would, which, I'm gonna be honest, if I could take an hour-long flight and stand, but pay $1, you bet your ass I'm taking that flight. But anyway, don't give them too many ideas. Not Ryanair specifically, but any of them, please. Yeah, I just combined vertical and horizontal stripes. Tonight, we steal the moon! Dude, the leg thing was awesome. It catches you by such surprise. I love it, fantastic, and I hope that stealing the moon worked out for you.